So the areas that we're going to be covering today are the aspects of recruitment, training and retaining. Why do we need enterprise architecture? And what does the word architect actually mean within your organization? Let's look at one of those first of all. There is increasingly pressure coming on organizations who have to comply with legal and regulational type aspects that they must actually have an enterprise architectural concept within their organization. COBIT 5 moves from COBIT 4, which is primarily an assurance framework used by the big four auditors for auditing your organization. COBIT 5 moves this into a whole new game because COBIT 5 is being launched or has been launched as a management framework. And part of that management framework is enterprise architecture. And guess what they're looking for? They're looking for a chief architect who takes accountability of the end-to-end architecture across the organization. So if you're coming down the COBIT 5 path, all of a sudden enterprise architecture is starting to get teeth. It's starting to get a requirement. And one of the concepts behind that is that the chief architect actually has the responsibility to ensure the right people are doing the right job in the organization for the enterprise architectural aspect. Klinger-Cohen Act in the US. There are EU directives equivalent on the award of a public contract, Sarbanes-Oxley. All these things are actually requiring some concept of control, some concept of being able to actually architecturally ensure that what you're doing is correct. We have more hyper-connected enterprises, more links not just within our own organization but across other organizations. We have more cooperative IT operations which have to operate together, cooperate together across these. Look what happens when it fails. When our architecture fails, when the whole aspect of things not working correctly fail. I live in Scotland. One of the banks in Scotland, the Royal Bank of Scotland, had catastrophe last year whenever its IT systems failed. They had outsourced something, there was an update being done, and they brought the system down, and it took them over a week to actually get the system back up again, and people had no access to their finances and everything else. The implications of not having your right architecture are major. The increase in litigation. When it goes wrong, be aware, you better have deep pockets. And your audit requirements that we just talked about. So in this concept, regulatory need to ensure enterprise architecture is there, that it is compliant with the audits and the regulations which are in place. So we're seeing this external requirements, the EA responsibility to achieve architectural compliance, the chief enterprise architecture responsibility to ensure the EA team is properly staffed, the right skills, the right talents, the right people, the right number of people to address what you need, and therefore the high level at the C level, the accountability for the compliance to the regulation can actually be met. So it's not just the concept of an internal idea of, oh, our competitors have an enterprise architecture team, maybe we should have one.